Yes, my guest's educational background is in architecture, but then he's embraced agriculture for different seasons and held offices at different periods. So he's not new to this field of endeavor and the situation confronting the practitioners too. On the spot, I'd like to welcome the President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN, Architect Kabir Ibrahim. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
For us, our drive on food sufficiency, as you would like to say, has been commendable. But sustaining this push for us to say we are food secured is another concern for everyone today, amidst all the myriads of problems confronting agriculture generally. What's your take?
The last 6 years has seen a lot of input into agricultural production. This administration has done wonderfully well in this regard. You know, once the policy of agriculture promotion policy came into effect, everything has been done, and many other institutions have keyed into the agric program of this administration. And but for COVID-19 and insecurity and all that, Nigeria would have been another country now. We would have been mainly an agricultural country, which we used to be before the advent of oil. So I applaud the efforts being put by the President and the many other institutions that are working to make sure that we are food sufficient in not so distant future. What I would ask is for there to be synergy between all the activities of all the actors, so that we will all coalesce and produce the same desired effect of food security.
Okay. For the farming community today, earning big is what they would like to see. And already you pointed out the issue of the COVID-19. We'll also have other concerns in the area of insecurity. Farmers at a point could not even go to farms. It said that their farms were being destroyed or they being killed outrightly amidst all other issues that they were facing. What other hurdles are there for the farming community? I'm not saying these ones are not serious enough, but then where are the concerns even as we make to commemorate another World Food Day 2021?
Well, you see, there are many issues confronting the overall economy, and agriculture is not excluded from that. Most people are now complaining about the skyrocketing prices of food and all that, but this is occasioned by threat factors to food production. And then there are very serious threat factors to the purchasing power of the naira. As you all know, the black market price of the naira is in the region of 580 to the dollar. And every other thing is affected by this. So will be the food that we buy from the markets. And then the farmers, in some quarters, are being blamed for this, but I think it is not properly placed, because no farmer produces everything that they need. We also have to buy from the same market. So we buy also at these skyrocketing prices. In some quarters, the farmers are saying it is only now that they are getting value for what they produce, because what you sell now is commensurate with the cost of production and the marginal profit. You know, in agriculture, the profit is hardly more than 5%. We're not Shylocks. We don't go for the jugular. But, you know, but the threat now essentially is we do not have mechanization. We've only recently, you know, the president has approved or assented to some bills. From 2019 to date, there are very important bills that the president has assented to. You know, we have the Seed Act 2019.
Sure.
We have the PVP Act 2021, and now we have the ARCN Act, a bill that will soon be enacted, you know, 2021. These ones will help the food system to be more efficient. Further still, I think the president in his 1st October speech also said that the NAFRA should be resuscitated. NAFRA means the National Food Reserve Agency. What is happening today is, if people are crying for, of inflation, we should have a buffer stock of food items that we bring out to cushion this effect. Unfortunately, we do not have. In panic, at the beginning of COVID, we brought out a large chunk of what we had in the store and we gave to people. Right now, we have very little in the storage. So what we are thinking is that the government should purchase grains, because people are harvesting now, the farmers are harvesting now. Between probably the end of this month and mid-November, we should be able to buy off surplus produce from the farmers, because some of them will sell to marry their children and to do many other things. Some of them will go to Jerusalem or Saudi Arabia and all that. So when you buy at this point and then release when prices go up, and I believe prices will go up around April, April, not May, we will start.
We're talking about purchasing power still, and already as a farmer, you're saying we should even look out for things that will, prices that will be going up. Already, people are actually still groaning under the present situation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, to cushion it. To cushion it, you need to create buffer zones. And then what the president also suggested on NAFRA is very germane, because then we'll have a food stock that we will fall back on that will cushion the effect of this. Because inflation in food is more telling than probably in buying clothes and
sure.
So we must be careful. We must be sure that most people can afford food, because that is the beginning of, sanity. Because once you are hungry, you can be irrational. So we should not allow that to happen.
Okay.
And then our population is growing, so we have to be careful. There are many, many institutions.
Yeah, talking about growing population, increased urbanization is also pushing so many people in the different areas of agriculture to set up. Let me talk about one area I know you have that you're so passionate about. I think you started off as that, poultry, and this is said to be the fastest, or one of the fastest, if not the fastest, growing segments in the agricultural sector. So let's take a look at that. How have we fared all over the nation to actually get effective poultry farming and management?
You see, before this insecurity and before COVID and all that, we were sitting on an asset base of getting to $3 billion. People were doing this and, of course, making money out of it. But now, with inflation and inadequate, the energy component of the feed, maize and things, other carbohydrate-given things are getting very, very costly. So the feed for the chicken we raise for meat and those that lay eggs, the cost is getting prohibitive. So most farmers now are really going under. They are closing shop, they are closing their farms. So we have not fared very well. And we hope that as time goes on, we will take deliberate actions to be sure that we segregate between maize for human consumption and maize for animal consumption. Once we don't do that, we have a problem, because the competition becomes unbearable. You need to feed these chicken and other animals, large and small ruminants, with the same stock that we have, and we eat from the same basket. So the pressure on that is very, very high. So as time goes on and more people are encouraged to embrace agriculture and production is optimized, we will be able to cater for all these sectors, the human and the animal consumption. They are both important, because everybody needs protein, needs what we get from the animals to be the milk and all that. If you look at milk, for instance, milk will get better produced when the animals feed with the right kind of feed and food, and they get good nourishment. Then you'll have a cut down on the bill, on the import bill of milk. We still import milk, a lot of milk. Yes.
Okay, is this same pressure being experienced for livestock production and management too? I know poultry still coming on that, as then also the aspect of fish farming, because I'm trying to look at the various.
You see, all of these livestock, somehow they are eating up what we have. And then what we have, because of the pressure from us and them, the prices are high. So the price of feed for fish now is quite high. The larger ruminants, it's quite high too, because if you take wheat offal now, how much is wheat offal? Wheat offal everywhere in Nigeria is more than 5,000 for the 50 kg. In fact, we always get respite during the rainy season. Oh. Because the animals will feed on grass and all that. This year we didn't get much respite. The lowest it got was about 4,500, and it still is going to go back there because the season is over.
I'm sure these are concerns everyone is pushing out, even as we commemorate this World Food Day for 2021.
Well, the World Food Day is to commemorate the founding of FAO, which was in 1945. But because of the turbulence in the food system, and this is even captured by the UN Secretary General on the 23rd of September, when he launched at UNGA, at the United Nations General Assembly, the food system dialogue. It's a global dialogue, and everybody we all joined, virtually. What is happening is that the whole world is experiencing this hardship in food. In Nigeria, where you and I don't see it, is because we don't have food banks where there are long lines for people waiting for ration. If you go to the United States or the UK, there are long lines of people at food banks trying to get this. So it's a global problem. It's not only a Nigerian problem. Nigeria, to some extent, we really have the food, but it is very costly. But we are not very realistic, as members of this nation. We are not looking at government as a part of us. More so now that we elect people to even represent us. So we are electing those people to represent us, so we can now ask them to go home if we are not happy with them. But the effort that the administration is making should be appreciated against the background of what happens globally. The pressure on the food system is global. It's not only Nigeria. Definitely there are problems in Nigeria, and people are right by complaining, but don't complain too much.
All right. When we get back from this break, Architect Kabiru Ibrahim, because we're going on a break now, what more do we need to do to address the food system? As already been talked about, is a global conversation, like you have pointed out. But then, as we drive it further home, what other areas? We will do that. We will do that after the break. We'll certainly do that after the break. Okay. You're watching the program On the Spot, and I'll be right back after the break with more issues, talking to AFAN President. If you just tuned in, the program is On the Spot, and I have the President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN for short, Architect Kabiru Ibrahim, on the spot. Architect Ibrahim, food systems, the global conversation is on. But for Nigeria, we still have to take on where we have left off some of our own gaps. And want to take a look at food insurance or agricultural insurance now for farmers. Let's start from there. What more do the farmers need to know, the farming community, and also for those who would love to go into agriculture generally, how insured they will be or they could get?
Well, I don't know how you are looking at it, but when you say insurance for the farmers, every farmer should really key into insuring what he or she produces, because of so many things that affect production. It could be flooding, It could be even this insecurity and all that. But otherwise, if you are talking of insurance or assurance, there is it's a different ball game, because the assurance that we have is that our population is so big that whatever we produce will be bought. So we should look at agriculture as a business. We should work assiduously to close all the gaps. There are some commodities where we do not have the comparative advantage. Those will be bought through AFTA, the Africa Continental Free Trade
Yes,
Area.
I was going to come to that, because I know with us taking a look at AFTA, which you're a member of the National Action Committee. What are those things that we are pushing out to help the farming community, especially for crops and other produce that we have comparative advantage?
Well, you know, some basic crops like maize, rice, and all that, we already have comparative advantage when you look at the other countries, not countries that are conduits for bringing rice. You know, our rice comes right through from Lomé. It sometimes comes through Niger, and there's unscrupulous people smuggle it into Nigeria. Niger and Lomé and whatever they don't have rice. So what we have now is that we are producing rice optimally, but we need to do more. We need to mechanize. We need to have better and greater investments in agriculture. We have to invest in mechanization. We have not yet done that. If you know
not done that or at all or enough.
No, we have not done enough. Our mechanization is very, very low. In fact, from 2017 to date, we have been talking about borrowing 1.1 million worth of equipment in kind from Brazil. This is still work in progress. The equipment has not reached here yet. So we need to walk our talk. We need to also do a lot more work on our power, because most of these things, if they're in their primary form, you get nothing from them. If we're able to add value to what we produce, we will make more. And then the opportunity for us to do it in Africa is immense, because we have always been the giant of Africa. Let us do it in reality, not just in name. So we have identified in the work stream. I'm also a lead. I'm a champion in those. So what we have done is that we have identified those crops and commodities where we have comparative advantage, and we are going to optimize the production so that we have enough, and we will be able to now sell to the other countries. Those that we don't have, we should be able also to buy from those other countries, because this business has to be, it's give and take.
It's give and take.
You know, we must have this symbiosis. We must be able to get from them what they have, for them to get from us what we have. You know, you cannot have this monopoly. So these are all the things that we need to do. We need to invest more in agriculture. We have invested a lot, but we need to invest properly. And we need to synchronize all our activities. Let them all be together. Don't allow the CBN, NALDA, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, other to do everything for everybody to do their own thing. Let us be able to really work together. Let us have the right kind of synergies.
So we have pockets of people activities standing there.
Yes.
Isn't this negating what is supposed to be to forge a common front?
Of course it is, and we have cautioned even this current minister. We have told him that the first thing that he should do is to get all the people to work together on the food system. Be sure that we are all working towards the same goal at the same time, with definite milestones within timelines. No, don't allow people to just work anyhow, and you don't give them targets or timelines. If you, for instance, you ask the thing that is very, very current now is the activity of NALDA. NALDA is charged to do 108 farm estates in Nigeria and in different locations. And then what we have asked, we know we did a program here, Tuesday Night Live with the ES. I asked him, okay, you are doing this now, who owns them?
So who owns them? So
what he said was that they were getting young people to do it and all that, and the young people will ultimately own it. But can they own it sustainably?
I'm talking about the young people owning farmlands like that, or farm estates as they are being called. I know the bitter cry for experts who have been talking about people going into agriculture as being the attention of the youth, or attracting the attention of the youth into agriculture predominantly. How is the response coming on for youth to assist
there are many youth
population?
now calling me wanting to join AFAN. And there are many youths doing agriculture, because you see we are doing climate smart agriculture, and then we are looking at those things that can be gotten from agriculture, not the drudgery of using your hoe and cutlass. No,
exactly.
We are, once you mechanize and all that, you have a very few, you have a fewer population of our people getting into the real production of agriculture. But when you process, you generate and create jobs, and all these youth can get jobs from different ends.
And the value
some of them will do
about.
Yes, of course, they will not. We don't expect anyone who went to Harvard and came back to Nigeria to go to the farm and kneel down and start getting some things, or bend down and get, no, but the person can do agribusiness. He can get money, he can get anything out of the processing that we do. This is what happens all over the world. In the United States right now, the population of farmers is just like 2%. But there are many people who get employment from agriculture. The percentage is over 50%. It's the same thing in Europe. So these are all the facts. Anything food that everybody has to eat, there's a lot of work that you can get from there, and then a lot of work that you need to do to get it to the level that is required. Nigeria needs to work very hard, and the farmers have to work very hard, and the economy has to work very well. Because if you produce anything and you don't have market for it, you cannot produce it again.
Which is going to be the last question for me. As farmers move to do more, to double efforts to actually achieve food sufficiency for the nation, for the continent, and for us to have a very well processed stage to give our own quota, how do we begin to address the issue that you've just raised?
Well, we must look at finance and the economy very well. You need to have people who really have a firm grasp of what all this entails. And then you should not in any way play games with it. You must do it such that you are thinking of 100 years from today or more. Not stopgap, not that you make money because you are in charge and that ends there, because you are going to have to buy from the same place that other people who have no money now to buy. So you need to be conscientious. Everybody has to work towards the betterment of the nation. So everybody has to work, and the institutions must work, and people have to be transparent and honest. Because what you are doing today should not be just for yourself, it should be for your children and great-grandchildren. Yet unborn. You must do that. If you don't do that, you don't get prosperity. If you look at countries just look at Singapore. When Singapore, under Lee Kuan Yew, look at what it became. One person with a very good idea got good lieutenants, and they made the country a first world in a very short time. And people, yes. So in Nigeria, because of our diversity and because of we have this arable land, we have many things, we even have oil, we have many resources. All we need is to manage what we have. And you must put people who know what to do and who are conscientious, who are honest to drive the process. Otherwise, you will always be on the losing end. We have the great
farmers to do that. So
farmers will make our own contributions, but we cannot claim to be, the solution to everything.
Okay.
But we will try.
President of Farmers Association of Nigeria, Architect Kabiru Berry, thank you very much for coming on the spot.
You're welcome, madam.
We wish all the farming communities and also those who want to join the very best as we go on that drive for food sufficiency for the nation and the world at large. Okay. And that's on the spot for this week. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your time. We also wish you join us again next time when we'll bring to you another interesting guest like we have done today. My name is Blessing Abu.